13th of March 1958, Sister Rose, Crete, medium Leslie Flint.
Don't think about anything, Mammals.
I'm not thinking about anything.
Good.
Very unusual person who can sit and think of nothing.
I beg pardon?
How does one achieve that, Rose?
What is that?
To be able to sit and think of nothing.
Well, I know the medium so very, very well. I don't want his mind to be disturbed during a sitting. That's why I asked him.
Well, I should imagine you would not like his mind disturbed at all about anything at any time.
That's quite true, but
Good.
that is impossible.
I see. Well, we'll go on to something else.
There was one thing I wanted to ask you, Dr. Dear, which rather puzzled me.
What is it?
May I?
Yes.
When Akhenaten came in my last sitting,
Yes.
his voice was totally different to when he came the first time, when he took possession of the medium.
When you say he took possession, do you mean to say he was entranced?
Yes.
Well, that may account for it.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I wanted to ask you about that. Why? Why should it account for it?
Well, I think the whole point is that when a medium is used,
Yes.
their own idea of things, shall we put it like that, or their own impression,
Yes.
in some strange way inhibits or affects the communicating entity.
I
For
see.
instance, if the conscious mind or the subconscious mind of the medium thinks that a certain person should have a certain kind of an accent, or would expect them to have, the entity who's communicating probably would adopt that automatically, or it would seem that they assume that. In other words, when the medium is completely ruled out of the phenomena,
Yes.
then there's much more likelihood of the individual concerned who's contacting being able to come more naturally and speak in a voice not unlike the voice that they would use either when on Earth or as they would use over here if they were to speak.
I see.
The whole point is that one must get this straight and clear, that the voice itself really is always an artificially reproduced thing.
Yes.
And one must never anticipate or expect the voice that you hear is necessarily identically the correct voice, or the voice which was common to that person when on Earth. It so much depends on the degree of the mediumship and the mentality of the medium.
Yes.
The medium who can completely eliminate himself from the phenomena is more likely to produce not only more striking evidence, but also more likely to reproduce the voice of the communicating entity. After all said and done, you should realize that all communication is a mental process. It's all thought transferred into sound.
Oh yes, I know that, Dr. Dear, and I just wanted to know
assuming that every voice that came through to you spoke in the same manner and had, so it seemed to you, the same personality, then I think you could say then that the medium was greatly concerned with the phenomena. In other words, the consciousness of the medium was greatly affecting the phenomena. But when you get a voice which has its own peculiarities and is different in tone and quality and different in its manner of speech, using perhaps expressions which may have been familiar to that person when on Earth. In other words, when you get a character come through from this side that has its own own personality, its own obvious type, then you can be more or less sure that you're getting a good percentage of the communicating spirits.
Yes.
But one must never forget that at any time there is bound to be somewhere some trace of the medium's personality. For instance, I mean, it must be pretty obvious to you or anyone. I mean, for instance, I've heard you say to Mickey, oh, come on, Mamoose, or something, which rather indicates that you're conscious in a subconscious way of the influence or the interference or the consciousness somewhere of the mediumship. Of course, there again is an interesting point. There's a vast linking up, obviously, there must be, between someone, shall we say, like Mickey and the medium, where there is such close collaboration, such close connection between an instrument, a medium, And the entity such as Mickey, who is really a control, who's always around and about, who's probably more able to assert himself, more able to make use of the power of a medium, such as the medium we use, then you're bound to get that sort of linking up. It's difficult, perhaps, for you to realize that the medium, though unconsciously, is consciously, unconsciously linked up with the phenomena.
Yes.
Mickey and he are very inseparable.
Yes. Oh, yes, I know that, Dr. Gill. I was just wondering
But
about
that
it.
doesn't mean to say, because that is so, that the entity that you know as Mickey is not a distinct, separate
Distinct
entity.
individual. Oh, yes.
But you see, there's such a strong link between the two, the medium and the entity controlling, in this case Mickey, that it is very difficult for someone like yourself, who's said innumerable times, not to sometimes forget which is which. In other words, they're so close that...
Yes, and the word fluidic is very expressive of
Yes.
it.
Well, I think one must bear in mind that phenomena, this type of phenomena, for that matter any type of phenomena, is in a sense a fluidic
Yes,
thing.
yes.
As I've said before, it's doubtful if one can ever completely eliminate the medium. Odd times it may happen.
But you always seem to be distinctly separate from the medium.
Yes, of course, because I assert myself. You'll find that any soul from this side that is an assertive character,
Yes.
personality, invariably does much better. That is why some people who are more, shall we say, retiring and less likely to push themselves forward,
Yes.
who are rather inhibited, they find it difficult.
Yes, it's all very interesting.
That's why your friend Frederic does so well.
What? Frederic what?
I said that's why your friend Frederic does so well.
Yes,
He can assume anything he likes.
I know. I was wondering if there was any kind of...
Actually, I think he would have been a brilliant actor.
Do you know, he worries me, Doctor dear,
I don't know why you should let it worry you, my dear.
because
Sometimes he's, you know, look, I'll be quite honest with you, saying that beating about the bush with you, Rose, you're too darn discerning. Some while back I told him not to come so often because I didn't think it was good for you, for your blood pressure and your general health. But he's been several times under a different guise.
I know, you know, I've been thinking over that, Doctor dear. And this Akhenaten.
You see, if you get an entity coming through calling himself Akhenaten, or you get someone coming through calling himself Jock, you accept them, but what you don't realize is an extra personality of Frederic.
Now this Akhenaten I was very doubtful about.
Well, there's no reason why you shouldn't be. When I say doubtful, I don't think you can ever realize it, Rose, can you? That Frederic is one of the very oldest of old souls. He is so old inasmuch that he's had so many incarnations. He's such a developed personality. He's such an extraordinary person, you know, that he's had so many existences, and Akhenaten was one of his previous existences.
It was.
And that's one reason. You see, Rose, the whole point is this with you. You, perhaps, well, you know yourself, but a lot of people don't know you, that is, people on your side particularly. Yes. And there was a time when you wouldn't have accepted Frederic, not at any price. If anyone had come through and said 10 years even ago, 5 years perhaps ago, that they were Frederic Chopin, you would have been extremely doubtful. You'd have probably listened with interest, but you wouldn't have believed a word of it. The whole point is that Frederic has been to you under different guises at different times, until such time as you were ready for the full revelation. The point is, Rose, that you are gradually beginning to realize that we can at will assume old shells, or we can assume old personalities. You know, the Theosophists are very right when they talk about astral shells,
yes,
because we can, by inhabiting and recreating, we can bring into being some previous life, some previous personality. We do that at times, sometimes because we have a very good reason. That is, we don't want a person on earth to doubt us. We don't want them to have any apprehension. We want to give them conviction. We want to give them help in various ways. So sometimes, especially in the early stages when we are communicating with a person whom we want to interest and help over a long period, we come back as a previous entity, less, shall we say, famous, less perhaps interesting, if you like to put it like that, where there's less likelihood of the community, the recipient of the message, the sitter, being doubtful. With Frederic, it's always been with you, I won't say a condition of idolatry, but the point is that somehow whoever came to you more or less within reason, you would have accepted them and wouldn't probably have had too much of doubt. But when it comes to Frederic, you wanted to be so 100% sure that you were not being deceived, that it was impossible for him to give you conviction, to give you this state of mind that you now have about him. In other words, he had to bide his time and come to you and prepare the road, prepare the way,
yes,
and until such time as you're receptive. So it is possible, and he will, and he has been this last few months,
yes,
coming to you at odd times and amusing himself very greatly, I might tell you, under different names.
But tell me, what are the names, Dr. dear? Do enlighten me.
Well, of course,
Yes.
Akhenaten.
This last time it was Akhenaten.
Yes, but he's also been to you to this Scotch guys.
Not David.
You'd be very surprised, my dear.
David? Eh?
Yes.
David?
And having a go at me at the same time, damn it.
What? Who's
I
that?
say yes, and having a go at me.
Having a go at you?
Well, don't you remember the things that he said to you?
Oh, yes.
About me?
But David was a personality. He was talking about his fiancée who was on Earth, and he was killed in the war and all the rest of it.
The point is, there are two entities who've spoken to you who claim to be Jock. One is the real person, the other is the assumed.
One is the new person?
No. Oh dear.
Yes.
One is David.
David.
Yes, Jock.
Jock.
Yes. The Scots boy who definitely is who he says he is. In other words, he has got a woman on Earth that he was in love with, engaged to, I believe.
Yes.
The other is Frederic.
Jock.
Yes.
Oh.
Still puzzled, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Never mind, leave it
Oh
alone.
yes, it's very important that you should know.
Yes.
Because some months ago, a long time ago, 6 months or so ago,
Yes.
I was very concerned about your health, and I thought this blood pressure was a great deal due to too much excitement. And I did say, I admit this, I did say to Frederic, and others that matter, but particularly to Frederic, I said it was wise that you shouldn't come through so much, because you got too worked up, too excited. And since then he hasn't been so often, and there have been long spells when we've been experimenting, that's true. But also, at odd times, he has spoken to you under this pseudonym, this guise, you see.
Yes. Yes.
But don't be upset about that.
No, I'm not upset. I'm not. Oh, you wait a minute till I get him as Frederic Chopin. You wait a minute.
I don't want you to lose.
Listen, Doctor dear, I am so used to hearing Frederic come that I don't get excited. I get more excited about things that are told to me that I have no knowledge of, that interest me,
Yes.
than Frederic coming.
Yes, all right. But anyway, you're much better.
Yes.
And the nice weather's coming, and you'll be able to feel better in yourself, and we shall get back into our stride. But we have been very busy with experiments, and we haven't wanted to waste power and time by talking too much. So apart from that, other business of, well, thinking of worrying about your health, point is that you mustn't be upset or annoyed with Frederic.
Oh, no, I'm not annoyed.
He was actually trying to please you.
Yes.
In his own kind of way, which perhaps from your point of view wasn't the right way. But it is true that he has had many incarnations, and he can assume various personalities, as indeed can quite a number of us for that matter, because we can soon tap the resources that are all around and about us and recapture, if we wish, many past memories, and we can come to you in a different guise if we think is essential or necessary or can be helpful to you. Because sometimes some of our other incarnations, when retold to you and given to you as an object lesson, if you like, can be of great service.
Yes.
That is, of course, a little confusion in your mind
There is
about David, because David is a separate entity and is not Frederic. But there has been an occasion when Frederic has impersonated or come through to you as a Scotch person.
Jock.
Yes. So there is that difference.
Anyhow, thank you for telling me, Dr. dear.
No, I should probably be in trouble with him.
No, I won't say a word. I just pulled his leg as well, and next I hope he's not anywhere around.
Well, it's all right if he is, I suppose. After all, he understands.
But this Akhenaten was he.
You see, Rose, look, let's get this in the beginning.
I just wanted to know that.
When you first came into this truth, into this subject, you read a lot of books, you were searching for knowledge, you experimented with automatic writing and so on.
Yes.
And you were several individuals were brought to you.
Yes.
And they were separate individuals, and you came to know them individually and loved them in consequence for their qualities and their interest.
Yes.
At that time, Frederic tried to manifest to you, but you refused it.
Yes, that's quite true.
And in consequence, he realized that if he were to make contact with you, he'd have to prepare the way. The time was too soon, too early.
Yes.
So, in the intervening period, he has been to you to help you, to guide you, to instruct you, and to generally prepare the way for himself.
And
when
he's
he could come
done
to
it
himself.
beautifully, Doctor dear.
And you have had these contacts, and now you have this contact which you now can accept as Frederic, and the culmination of all this is yet to come. That is something which we very much want to impress upon you.
Yes.
That the culmination of all the knowledge and experience that's been built up for you,
Yes.
and with you and around you, will soon come into being. That's what we're working on now.
I see.
You understand, don't you?
Yes, I understand now, Doctor dear, but this Akhenaten was puzzling me, and I have had a feeling that it was he. I had a feeling. Well, thank you so much for enlightening me.
I must go, my dear. I'm sorry, but I must go.
All right. Give my love to Akhenaten.
I will. My blessing and love to you.
But Doctor dear, was he really Akhenaten?
He was.
He was. Oh.
That should explain a lot of things. For Akhenaten was centuries before his time. He was a very advanced mentally advanced soul.
Oh. Mm. Oh dear. When next I come, I hope there'll be some talking, but I've got a lot to.
There'll be plenty of opportunities to ask as many questions as you like. What?
Mickey, darling.
What?
Why don't you tell me these things?
Well, it's very difficult.
Did you know?
Yes, I did, but I didn't know. I was trying to help, really, because if I spilt beans, I'd be in trouble.
Well, I found out all by myself.
Well, I think the doctor knew what he was about, and he just wanted... oh, I don't know, but the point is, why worry?
I'm not worrying, but I like to have things straight. You know, it's interesting to me in a way, because I keep on puzzling, but...
But surely a straight road is rather boring. One that wheedles around here and there is much more interesting.
He's a rascal, Mickey.
Of course he is, but then so are you.
What is he doing with me? Can you tell me?
He's trying to help you. I think he has helped you, and he's trying to
he's helped
give you information and evidence and help you along the pathway of spiritual and mental progress. But of course it has to be done in the right way, not the way you think.
I see.
You want it all lock, stock and barrel.
No, I see, I understand.
You've got to get it in pieces.
Yes.
You've got to, besides, look at the fun in the jigsaw puzzle. You fit the pieces in, you begin to see the picture. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, darling.